The key to this technique is to not accuse, but inform. Your subject's response will tell you if he's hiding anything. The sequence explores a person's frame of mind when he is presented with new information. For example, Pauline visits her doctor for a routine physical. When her doctor gets the blood test results back, he calls to inform her she has contracted the herpes virus. Thinking back over her recent sexual partners, she's convinced that Mike or Howie must have given her the disease. Merely asking her two suspects if they knowingly gave her herpes would most likely prove futile, as denial by both would be likely. Here is what she does. Pauline calls both guys and casually informs them she just found out she has herpes. The responses she receives lead her straight to the culprit. After hearing the news, the two men respond as follows. Mike, well, don't look at me. I didn't give it to you. I'm clean. Howie, you what? How long have you had it? You might have given it to me. I can't believe this. Are you sure? Who is most likely to be the guilty party? If you guessed Mike, you're right. On hearing that Pauline has an incurable, easily transmittable disease, he goes on the defensive, assuming he is being accused of infecting her with herpes. He is unconcerned about his own health because he already knows he is infected. All he wants is to convince Pauline that he's not guilty. Howie, in contrast, assumes the call is to inform him she might have infected him. Thus, he gets angry because he is concerned about his health. Simply, a person wrongly accused will be more likely to go on the offensive, while the guilty party usually assumes a defensive posture. Here's another example. Let's say you're working in the customer service department of a computer store. A customer brings a non-working printer back for an exchange, claiming he bought it a few days ago. He has the all-important receipt, and the printer is packed neatly in the original box. Upon inspecting the contents, you find a necessary, expensive, and easily removable component of the machine missing, a clear indication of why the machine is not functioning properly. Here are two possible responses you might get after informing the customer of your discovery. Response 1, I didn't take it out. That's how it was when I bought it. Response 2, what? You sold me a printer that has a missing part. I wasted 2 hours trying to get the thing to work. Do you see how effective this is? The person who gives response 2 has every right to be annoyed and goes on the offensive. It never crosses his mind that he's being accused of anything. The person who gives response 1 knows he never tried to get the printer to work because he took the part out. It does not occur to him to become angry. He automatically assumes he's being accused of removing the part and becomes defensive when informed the part is missing. When using this technique, the object is to attach your suspicion to something you know is true about a person but completely unrelated. If he tries to hide or deny the truth about what you know for sure, you have the answer to your suspicion. However, if he freely acknowledges the existence of your claim but denies the relationship, then your suspicion is likely untrue. Let's take a look. Henry wonders if his date is an alcoholic. He already knows Elaine always chews gum after her meals, a likely unrelated, and certainly benign, activity. Therefore, he would say something such as, I was reading a study that alcoholics tend to chew gum after meals. Now, if Elaine is an alcoholic, he will notice she will, in addition to becoming uncomfortable, probably choose to not chew the gum after eating. You see, she will have no reason to deviate from her usual behavior unless it shows her in an unflattering light. Moreover, she has no reason to doubt the veracity of Henry's research statement. She is probably thinking, yikes, that's just what I do. However, if she is not an alcoholic, she will say to him she always chews gum after meals, so the study cannot be completely true. Of course, she may not chew the gum to avoid her date, assuming otherwise, even if she does not drink excessively. But the odds are she won't deny herself an enjoyable routine and give up a chance to refute his study merely to avoid presenting a wrong appearance. When stakes are high, fear of folly is a great technique to determine what someone's hiding, regardless of how good an actor he may be. To apply the psychology of the technique, you inform your subject he and another person, a confederate working with you, are both suspects, and you attach an unwelcome quality to the person who is guilty. Then, gauge your subject's behavior. If interaction with the other person causes him concern, it's likely that he's innocent. A police detective puts his suspect into a holding cell and declares, okay, we know one of you is guilty, and blood found at the scene tells us the perpetrator has hepatitis C. Now, When the Confederate, bleeding from his hand, approaches your suspect, if he's not guilty, he'll move away and become alarmed. He knows the other guy must be responsible. However, if he's guilty, he has no reason to be concerned about this person having hepatitis. He assumes he has hepatitis because he already knows he's guilty. You can also use this technique in groups by merely attaching your marker to the suspicion and not the suspect. Subsequently, the suspect will show himself. Manager wanting to find out who went through his desk might say, "Whoever went into the office will be fired. The rest of you will get a promotion for enduring this investigation." Now, he simply observes his suspect's subsequent behavior. If he is excited or inquires about the salary and benefits of the new job, then he's probably innocent. Otherwise, sitting silently demonstrates a strong sign he was behind the break-in. Wilby's technique works under the premise that a guilty person will do whatever he can to give the impression of innocence. By asking outright how your suspect would do the very thing that you accuse him of, you gain a great insight into his thinking. The psychological assumption is this: when a situation presents only one reasonable way to do something and the person picks an out-of-the-box answer, it is worthy of further investigation. Helen believes her bookkeeper, Mitch, has been skimming money from a petty funds account. Embezzling would be easy for him because there are no real checks and balances. While he denies stealing money, she has her suspicions. Therefore, in a light, carefree moment, she says, "If you were to steal, how would you go about doing it?" If he responds with a convoluted answer like, "Well, thinking off the top of my head, I'd keep a separate set of books and then use invisible ink," he's probably hiding something. Why? The right answer would be to do it the easy way by taking money from petty funds. However, since he doesn't want her to know he has thought of petty funds, he comes up with a roundabout way of stealing